Moving on to Wimbledon, it has come out that Wimbledon will ban players from Russia and Belarus from competing in this year's major, and it's honestly it's a little unfortunate. It's I get why they're doing it, but man, it does seem a little unfair, especially because like this is an individual sport. Sometimes I don't understand why they put the flags next to every team. Like they have these tournaments, like the ATP Cup, and they have like what's the other one called? Basically, like their World Cup. They have these tournaments every year where they actually compete as a country. So I think that's when you should maybe ban, if you want to do those bans, like ban Russia from, the ATP Cup and all that other stuff, where you actually compete as a country and you have like Spain versus, um, whatever, Serbia or whatever. I know Canada just won the ATP Cup. Like ban them from those, but Wimbledon and all that stuff, it just feels like attaching the country to that player sometimes is like it's too much. Like they're literally just competing as themselves, as their own individual players. They got coaches from different parts of the world. Like their player box is filled with different personalities and coaches and friends from all over the place. So I could see why they're doing it, but it also seems a little unfair, and it seems like not everyone's getting treated the same. I know maybe the Western side of the world gets the benefit of the doubt because, the U.S. has definitely done some stuff that's not, you know, looked upon so good. Like the U.S. should U.S. players have been banned and kicked out from previous Wimbledons and previous majors. Like if you were to look at it just black and white, then yes. So now to do that to Russia and Rublev, Medvedev, they spoken out against the war too. Like I think Rublev was the first one to do it. In Dubai, I believe, Dubai Open earlier this year after a win. It's customary for players to write on the camera. That's like recording them when they're doing their post game speech. He walked up to that and wrote "No war, please," and it was like a great moment. And then other players followed through and they kind of commented something similar. But I do remember my boy Rublev being the first one to do it. And like I said, Rublev, man, he's a great guy. Like I personally met him in the San Diego Open. I've seen him. I've seen interviews of him. I've seen those videos on tennis TV on YouTube. He just looks like the humblest, like down to earth tennis player. And just because he's from Russia, and Russia's doing these atrocities in Ukraine, and obviously, like it doesn't seem like the players are behind it and they don't support it at all. But they got to be careful with what they say because they don't want to have repercussions from the Russian government if they like speak super bad about him. They got families still living at home. Not everyone's like moved out of the country. Not everyone has the luxury of traveling all over the world and not being necessarily in Russia. So they know like they can't just fully condemn Russia because they might face repercussions. They might put their family in danger, and we don't want that to happen either. But they have spoken out about it, so I feel bad for them. I think Djokovic had a good quote saying like he was a child of war too, which was in Serbia. Serbia went through it too, and sports is supposed to be an outlet. It's supposed to be something that keeps us away from thinking of that. But like I said, I do understand why they would want to maybe ban players from Russia just to send a message, maybe try to get something done. I don't know. But it does seem a little like not everyone's being treated freely. Like the U.S. has definitely been like, it's been its fair share of bad stuff. Let's just put it back, like to keep it simple. The U.S. has definitely done its bad stuff too. So like, should U.S. players have been banned before? I don't know. Where do you draw the line? Who decides like what's like really bad and what's not really bad? I don't know. I just I'm a fan of Rublev. That's probably why it's bothering me so much. Like I'm a fan of Rublev. I would have liked to seen him compete in Wimbledon. But now there's a lot of speculation. Like ATP seems to not agree with what Wimbledon is doing. And like the whole tennis system doesn't have like one governing body. So it's confusing to get like not everyone's on the same page, and it's showing up again right now because Wimbledon is banning Russian players, but ATP, the one that like that's the system that we use. That's how we give ranking points. They don't seem to be agreeing with Wimbledon, so now they're kind of threatening to take the points away from Wimbledon, which would basically make Wimbledon just a amateur. Like it would just be something for fun. Like it would, just to keep a status. Like Wimbledon will obviously always have status, but if the players are not getting rewarded for playing there, and they won't get the 2,000 plus points that you usually get for winning, or for winning a major, like then what's the point? It just becomes like a big pickup game. We'll see how it plays out. I could definitely see Wimbledon, retracting this, like just getting so much backlash, and that they like just let them play, kind of like how Russia was able to play in the Olympics as like Sporting Republic of Russia, Sporting or something like that. Whatever they played at in the Winter Olympics or the Summer Olympics too, where they were committee, the Russian Committee of Sports or something like that. They might just do something like that for Wimbledon. I could see that happening. Just all right, you can't play representing Russia or Belarus. You gotta be like some committee or something. I don't know. I don't have the solution. I don't see. I'm curious to see how it plays out. Like I said, ATP does not seem to agree with Wimbledon. Wimbledon seems to have made up their mind. I don't know. I hope to see my boy Rublev in Wimbledon. That would be fun. I like Rublev. That's pretty much who I'm fighting for. I'm sticking my neck for. Now, Kachanov, he's cool. Medvedev, he's a personality. Obviously, he's the number 2 player in the world. It'd be great to have him there too. There's other Russians and Belarusian players that, we would be happy to see at Wimbledon. But I think the thing that just probably has ticked me off a little bit is that my boy Rublev, who I know is a great person, is not going to be able to play. He spoke out against the war. He's still getting punished. Like, whatever. It is what it is.